What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another Ever Crisis video. All right, guys, I got a lot to talk about here. Now, this is going to be something I want to discuss because I think the new weapons have brought up so many different conversations and how this game is evolving and how free-to-play players kind of have to tackle this banner. Now, I personally am at 10,000 blue crystals. I'm hoping to collect more, obviously, as the game continues growing and as the anniversary continues getting up there. And I'm going to try to get as much as I can. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the new weapons again. Okay, this is going to be important. The difference that these brand new weapons can bring to a party is roughly about 600 to 800 physical attack on each character. Okay, now thanks to Edward, only Genova from my guild, you know who you are. Shout out, much love to you, Edward Gaming Corner. I believe that's the title of you as a subscriber and also a member. He has done a lot of testing for us, and he's put together a Bahamut EX2 run using his. Now he's a whale. Keep this in mind, okay? He's got a maxed out cloud weapon with the full P attack across the whole border. And he uses Tifa as his main attack. Go check out his channel. I'll put the link to his channel. You guys can see the crazy amount of damage he does with this brand new weapon. Now, he was doing this fight before and clearing it, but he was also going through different stages of the fight and getting through different parts of it and taking a lot longer to do it. Now, with these brand new weapons being added to it, it put a whole different layer of complexity to the entire party and the game. So why is this important? So let's talk a little bit about two different types of players. Number one, if you're a whale, why is this important to you? Number one, to stay on top of your game, this is now going to be almost a mandatory thing for you to have, is these new buffs. And I say mandatory if you are top 20, top 30 player and you want to continue staying there. Now, yes, it is a shitty card you've been dealt with because now you're probably going to have to spend more money in order to keep up. And with that being said, it's going to leave a bad taste in people's mouths. Now, this is just gacha life though, right? Gacha life, you are going to have to live with power creep. You're going to have to live with brand new introductions of abilities, whether they're passive or buffs, and you're going to have to keep up with the trend if you plan to be number one. And people always say this, it's lonely on top and it's never easy to stay number one, especially with gacha games. It makes you spend an arm and a leg. So remember, guys, if you plan to go in on this banner, please be smart, spend responsibly, because you can spend an arm and a leg getting one of these weapons powered up, and to OB10 especially if you are having extremely bad luck. And I know a lot of people in the gacha community will spend an arm and a leg, even if they are having bad luck, just to prove a point to themselves that they want this weapon bad enough. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's number one. Number two, for free to play. The problem with free to play here is we don't know the future content yet. We don't know whether this is going to require us to summon now for us to be even able to beat content. And I don't think that's the case at the moment because these weapons are in fact whale weapons. So when I said this before that they are skippable, I still believe in that notion that they are skippable, but I don't want to take that away from the fact that if you do have these, you are going to have a massive power boost to your account, right? Because the amount of extra physical attack and especially the focus on physical attack that this game has is bar none. Like, magic is one thing, but they've put so much more emphasis on physical attack in this game that it'd be silly for anyone not to think that these weapons will make an impact on their account. Damn it. So I don't want people to assume that when I said they're skippable, that they're not fantastic weapons. As a matter of fact, I made a follow-up video explaining why I think these weapons are broken and the amount of power they give you to your account. So for free to play, it's hard to say what you should do. If you want them, I think you should personally wait to see what Sephiroth and Zack has, and then decide from there what you want to do, right? Because again, the banner for the limited break banner does go until April 7th. So we have a lot of time to actually wait and pull on these. The thing is, the main thing to really note about these weapons is the fact that if I go, let me go to the section here for Cloud, for example. The main thing to note about these, even at 5 stars, you can get up to 24 physical attack, which actually gives you a 14% boost, right? So if you can get yourself, a little bit further than 5 stars, and if you have enough currency at 34 here, you're still rocking 18% more physical attack. That's nothing to scoff at. That's still quite a bit. But again, I don't know what the next content is that's going to come out is going to require you to use these or not, right? this could very well be the bridging gap for whales to go from first place to second place to third place to fourth place, etc. This could very well be a whale weapon, which I think it still is. But again, for free-to-play players, it will 100% boost you. And I think that's the new thing. That's the thing I want people to take away from this. It's not like you're being baited to go for these weapons because there's something better coming out or whatever the case may be, and that's probably the case. Something better will probably eventually will come out. But for the time being, this is not bait for you as a free-to-play player to waste your gems. This is an opportunity for you to boost your account. And I want people to look at it that way, right? So that's the takeaway I would have here. I know a lot of people were concerned about saving gems for example, for the next big banner. But quite honestly, guys, anniversaries and crossovers are still some of the biggest things to come out. They usually don't have bigger events than that come out. So I don't think you're really going to be in a position of suffering here in any way, shape, or form if you pull for these. But I would highly recommend wait for Zac and Sephiroth. Now, on the topic of Zac and Sephiroth, let's just say they decide to make those two M-Attack party-wide buffs, okay? Which is better for you? Is it going to be the M-Attack or is it going to be the P-Attack? Now, you have to look at your account. I've already emphasized this to you guys that P-Attack has been a primary focus for this game. If you look at the weapon comparison between P-Attack and M-Attack, there's a lot more P-Attack options with elements and overall power boosting moves, right? Or weapons. If you look at, for example, just see what's out right now, right? If you look at the power creep weapons, most of them are physical attack power creep weapons, and that's just a fact. There's no way working around that. So keep that in mind when you are doing this. This was a shitty pull. So my personal suggestion is kind of look at your builds and see what you plan to do. Obviously, Sephiroth is a better magic attack user. Zac, in my opinion, is a good mixed bag of both. But Cloud and Glenn are built to be physical attack. As a matter of fact, Sephiroth can be built physical attack and conquer right now as well, too, some of his weapons. So if they plan to release them as magical, it's up to you whether you want to pull because you're a simp for some of these characters, or if you want to focus on magic more because there's a gap in your build for magic. Then of course go for the magic. But if you want to continue building on physical, then of course the physical it's a no-brainer. Cloud and Glenn are a great option for both of you. Now between Cloud and Glenn, that's up to you. If you missed out on the Sephiroth banner for Edge Wings and you want a better ice build, there is more ice events so far, I think, and more ice elemental enemies that you can probably focus on. And of course, Cloud is a way better option, choice character than Glenn because he has way more options. But not to scoff at Glenn. Glenn is growing as a character as well too, so keep that in mind. You can't really go wrong for either or, and we'll have to see what the future holds. Now, for upcoming summons that we could technically look at, if they release Leviathan, for example, he's going to be weak, or she or he or whatever, I think it's a she, will be weak to Thunder most likely because Water and Thunder kind of bridge each other's gaps. And then if it's like, let's say it's Titan, right? Could very well be Titan. Then that's going to be Wind, and we don't have to, Water or Ice won't even make a difference there at all. So really think about that. But honestly, guys, for free-to-play players, you cannot go wrong summoning for this. Is it skippable in my opinion? Yeah, I mean, you can technically skip it. I don't think you're going to suffer too much because, again, this is to bridge the gap for a lot of whales. But as a free-to-play player, having these as an extra option, for example, having the Zangan gloves, the Guy gloves, and then having the extra boost to that by having this weapon on Cloud is huge. That's going to boost my attack even further, right? So keep that in mind. And remember, these can be used as sub-weapons, and even then, you're at least going to get half of the party buffs, and that's still in itself a decent boost. So anyways, guys, I want to bring this topic up because I know a lot of people were questioning whether to go for them or not. If you want to boost your account, these are absolutely worthwhile. Are they going to be mandatory? I don't know the future, right? So I have no idea what the future holds. But I can say this safely, that these weapons are for sure and have been game breaking to a lot of players, and they are definitely boosting their accounts quite a bit by having them. But I would personally wait till Sephiroth and Zac come out and see what you guys want to go for then. All right, guys, just my thoughts on this. This is Payne. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Take care.